Hello, and welcome back to the Yale Super Spiel. This is now the second round, and we are currently seeing Pool A getting ready to start their games. You'll currently see on sheet 1, Bowdoin 1 in red v Colgate 1 in yellow. On sheet B, it's Villanova in red and Hamilton in yellow. And on sheet 3, it's UPenn versus RPI 1. And the current standing in this pool is that UPenn leads just with a few stones more played than RPI 1 and Villanova, who all won their first round games, followed by Bowdoin 1 on 4th place, Hamilton on 5th, and Colgate 1 on 6th, which would mean that normally Villanova and Bowdoin should play, but they already played in the previous draw. I'll leave you with the game for now, because I will have to do some work here at the Bonspiel, and I will be back a bit later. Hello, everybody. Just to update you, Ed has arrived at the club, and in about 5 minutes, you should have live commentary.
going that way on sheet C. Okay. Welcome back to the Yale Super Spiel. We're on the third draw. This is the fourth draw, actually. It's back to some of our groups that have already played a game. So second game, I think, for all the teams out here. Fabian's right next to me, and he can confirm. All right. So here on sheet C, I just jumped in. I'm Ed, doing some commentary. Oh, I even have score updates from Fabian. So we have on sheet A, right now coming back towards the warm room. Set that up for you here. So you can see there's sheet A on your right side of your screen on that camera. Colgate is yellow, up 5-0. Bowdoin has the hammer, Bowdoin won. On sheet B, Hamilton has a 4-0 lead over Villanova. Hamilton playing the Yellow Rocks against Villanova. And here on sheet C, what I think will be our feature game for the moment, RPI 1 has a 4-1 lead over UPenn. RPI has the hammer here in the fourth. Thanks, Fabian. That was very helpful. So on sheet C, which is right in front of us here, Penn throwing right now without the hammer. Oh, thank you. We're going to have some great information on our teams. We had all the teams fill out some forms for us to give us some fun facts. Yeah, it's there. And both of the teams in this game, in fact, did fill out the form. Good sweeping here. Nice throw. Gets around the center guard, and Penn will sit too. So stepping up to throw for RPI is their second, Gideon Bartlett. He's from Hillsborough, North Carolina, majoring in weather, it says. And his interesting fact, probably not accurate, says he has relived this day at least 5,000 times. A real Groundhog's Day scenario for Gideon. On this iteration of the day, he does draw in, possibly to sit one. Let's look at the overhead real quick. No, sitting second shot. It's still a nice draw and well placed to use later. But Penn may well look to lock up the center of the sheet here and try to steal. Or it looks like they're going to draw in. Makes sense. Right now they don't have a great steal rock. They have one back 8. And there's still room to draw around another central guard and improve that, get a better rock, more likely to steal. So right now playing second rocks, and for Penn the second is Richard Whitaker. He's from Charleston, Illinois. This rock is going to come in just a bit tight, clip the guard. Will sit in the house, possibly here right on the edge, but sitting fourth shot. And with Penn not having the hammer, unlikely to be a factor there, but certainly not a bad miss. Didn't do any damage. Actually pushed that guard even closer to the center line for the next time they want to use it, which RPI won't want, although they'll try to get around first and win what's going to be a race to the forefoot now. This draw just goes a bit heavy there from Gideon. And Richard Whitaker out in front of us here, getting ready to throw his second rock, the fourth rock of the end for Penn. He's majoring in materials science and engineering, and he says he can juggle and ride a unicycle, but not at the same time. Wants to say hi to mom and dad, so if mom and dad are watching, Richard says hi. Richard's also trying to make a draw here and get this around those central guards. This will be close. Good sweeping job here by Penn. You're going to want to finish it. Oh, it's going to come up a little short, and I guess they knew. Did not quite have the legs to be a counter. However, does put up another center guard. Red's still counting one. Going to be very hard for RPI to set up a deuce here, at least the way things are setting up at the moment. There's no easy draw either side, which is why Skip Evan Mullaney has called for the tap up here on that yellow rock out on the right side of the sheet. Definitely capable of tapping this to sit one. At the same time, maybe opening up a draw line for a multiple. Playing Vice for RPI is Kate Fermano from Laurel Springs, New Jersey. She lists her major as advanced counting. I'm going to say she's probably a math major if there's any truth to that. Her interesting fact is, once again, I think probably in jest, I'm going to throw it out there that she didn't mean that she doesn't understand object permanence yet. I think she's at that point if she's at RPI. More importantly, she just made a very nice tap up, put that rock right on the top four, letting RPI sit one. This Penn's going to go after that rock, though, although it's not easy to get to. And looks like Adam Clearwater's rock here a bit wide. Could work out, though, because this could end up being, I don't think he's going to make a double. Oh, unfortunately, actually just taps it right in underneath. Unfortunate miss there. Would rather have not hit the rock at all. Hit too little of it. Pushes it in. Leaves yellow sitting 1-2. There is a red rock that can be used to run, but even now Penn can probably only see maybe 2/3 of that red rock on the center line in the top 12, and it looks like RPI is going to play to close off that shot. Guard's coming in nicely. Going to want it to finish just a little bit. And more likely than not, that'll get the job done. In concert with their center line guard, it's going to be very, very difficult to get to that red rock and push it back onto the yellows, which means that Penn's more likely going to draw around the left side. There it is. Yep. They're going to look to draw one into the forefoot here around those guards just to the left side of the center line. Play to steal the end here. Adam Clearwater, as you mentioned, he's from Christchurch, New Zealand, majoring in math. And he says that when it's too warm to curl, he spends his time rock climbing. So that's fun. He wants to say hi to Ben. Straw's sailing just a little bit heavy. Gonna just get out of the back of the house. So leaves yellow sitting 2 still. Oh, it's the... Skip Evan Mullaney up to the throw now from Brockton, Massachusetts. Says he put on a one-man adaptation of Frozen. I'd like to see that. More importantly, right now, it looks like he's throwing up another guard here just to make sure that Penn doesn't have an opportunity to come in. Actually, he may be coming in around his corner guard. Did not see the shot call. Maybe playing a tap on the yellow. There are ways for RPI to sit 3. They can. Give me 1 second here. Skip Cody Klauser up to throw for Penn. Going to look to come around here on the left side and set up a steal. Yellow's still counting 2 at the moment. Cody's from Bowdoin, Pennsylvania, majoring in mechanical engineering. I believe he's getting his master's, actually, he was telling me last night. And as his shot comes in here, looks like it will count. Second shot, it's open. Evan's going to have an opportunity at getting at this. All right, we have it backwards here. Sorry, Penn has the hammer. The score hadn't been updated yet, and RPI scored in the 4th, so they're up 5-1 now, and Penn has the hammer. Well, there we go. Now I'm caught up. Cody wants to say hi to Carly, so Carly, if you're watching, hello from Cody and all of us here, all the Yale people too. Say hi to Carly. And Cody wants you to know that he is going to men's nationals in Fargo later this season. Qualified as a part of Team Dunham. Wait a second. Evan Mulaney throwing his last rock at the end. Going to try to make the hit here. Then the force will be on. In fact, if he gets a roll, it'll be very difficult for Penn to find a way in to score their point. Looks like this is hanging a little bit out, but should remove the shot rock. Well, it wasn't shot anyway. It should moves it to the back of the house, and I believe it's still second shot. So yellow is sitting 1. Cody will have a draw for 1 though. We'll have to hit full 4-foot in order to make it, in order to count. All right, rocks away. Final rock here of the 5th end, with Penn needing a rock to end up just about full 4 to count. He's coming in. Sweepers are all over it. Cody's helping him out. 3 players sweeping. They're off now. Need it to curl up just a little bit. Weight is very close, and that's going to settle in nicely for 1 for red. Very nice draw there to get their 1. RPI still holding a 5-2 lead now with the hammer in the 6th, however. So they'll be happy to get the force, but it was a very nice final draw there from Cody Klauser. All right, sorry about that. We had a couple things to take care of on our end. As we start the sixth end here, RPI up 5-2, and with the hammer. RPI lead David Donkaski's second rock coming in. Going to sit here in the back 12. And with 3 ends left down by 3, we can expect Penn to play hard for a steal here. Really most likely going to have to steal out the last 3 ends to come back and tie up or win this game. So, most likely looking for a center guard here. Sorry, we're on a third round. They might still be looking for a center guard, but in any case, this will work out well because it's going to be not quite behind the guard. Does sit in front of the Yellowstone in the back of the house, leaving some jam opportunities. RPI going to look to peel that out, though, keep things clean, protect their lead, play a little defense here. And sheet A. Don't have the team names for this draw in front of me. I'll get you a score update in a bit. Very nice peel there. So Gideon Bartlett there with the peel and sticking around. Yellow now sitting 2. Both behind the tee line, and Penn's going to elect to hit here. Probably looking for a hit and a roll towards their guard that's a bit off center. Rocks away. The sweepers are off it, maybe just a bit outside. I think they're going to make enough contact to remove one, possibly both. And nearly makes the double. Leaves the one yellow just biting in the back 12 on the center line. Good news for Penn with is they might be able to use that to it's gonna be hard to use that to steal, but it might be usable to force at least. And RPI taking no chances here, plays a peel on the only guard in play, and they'd like to keep things clean here. Would be happy to blank if they get the opportunity, or take 2. But removing the guard really takes most of the potential for a steal out of the end, and that's the one thing that RPI wants to prevent here in the 6th with a 3-point lead. Adam Clearwater stepping up to throw. Rocks coming in maybe down to the back one. Line's coming up nice. It certainly looks like it's going to be on the back if it gets there. Penn may have to sweep to get it down there, but very close to a freeze, just about a foot in front of that yellow rock. Not bad placement. But Evan here calling for appeal of that red, not even worried about whether they lose the back yellow or not in this case. Again, all about keeping things simple with the lead. He's got a 3-point lead, 3 ends to play, doesn't need to try hard to score, just needs to make sure that Penn doesn't have an opportunity to steal here. Strzok maybe over-curling a touch. Coming in, definitely going to make contact with the red rock. Oh, actually, that really took off towards the end. Went right by about 2/3 of the way down. It looked like uh, was it burned? Didn't see, yeah. Yeah, so it was burned about, yeah, 2/3 of the way down. It looked like it was gonna make contact with the red for sure. Okay, well. Penn has an opportunity to set something up now. If they can either throw a tight centerline guard or even something tight uh, just in the rings. And this will be a fairly high guard, close to the center line. Certainly usable. I imagine Evan's going to play the peel here. Yeah. He's looking at that or coming around. May have something to do with what he feels more comfortable calling for his vice. Both are reasonable. This is a little more aggressive. We're going to come around and try to sit one, beat Penn into the forfeit. Line's good. Sweeper's on it, trying to get it into count. And it is very close. I believe that is one yellow right now. That got just far enough to outcount the back red. So, very nice draw by Kate Fermano. Yeah, I do think she made it there just by an inch or so to outcount that back red. And that brings us to Skip Rocks, and Cody Klauser going to throw his first here. The yellow did not entirely bury around the red, which means that if Penn takes the other handle, which is what they're doing, they may be able to get underneath both of those rocks, count one, and have a rock that's going to be pretty well situated for a steal attempt. Once again, Sweeper's on this just about all the way. Really trying to get it in, get it past the yellow that's in the house. Going to get there and let it finish to be just about entirely buried behind the red guard. Great weight on that one. Take it right to the top of the tee line and leaving Penn sitting one here. Still two rocks to throw for RPI skip Evan Mullaney. And there's enough curl on the ice now that we've flipped our rocks. It was running very straight for much of the season, but now throwing a downweight hit, you're likely able to get to this and push it out. And given the line he's taking, I think that's the kind of weight he's throwing. Just back house to hack. Sweepers are off it. Line is getting pretty good here. It's got to keep moving. Just gonna slip by. Had the right weight. Got by the guard with a lot of room to spare, so they may have taken a bit too much ice on that one, because I think he can definitely get there with the weight he threw. That was a very nice soft hit just around hack weight. So Penn looking at what they want to do here. There are options. They can sit two. If they think it's going to be very difficult for Evan to get to that red, as it is, sitting two makes some sense with a 3-point deficit and only 3 ends to play. Putting a little more pressure on RPI and it's possible they'd even be sitting 3. I'm pretty sure that yellow in the front is the second counter, but can't be entirely sure looking at our cameras because the rocks in the front of the house will tend to appear slightly closer to the button than ones in the back, and they are pretty close. So Yeah, sitting 2 or 3 here would put pressure on RPI to make their last shot, or Penn could be right back in the game. Cody, after looking at it from the hack, though, thinks a little better of it, decides to play a guard on his counting rock. Doesn't want to give Mulaney another shot at a downweight hit, which right now looks like it could be for 2. Rocks away. Just bring it in. They're going to try to sit, and they will sit 2 here. 2 frozen. That's a excellent throw. All right, really one option here for RPI. He's going to have to draw right to the, grab about a piece of the button to count here. If those reds were more open, he could probably play a hit to count him down given the size of the lead, but it's going to be very hard to even remove one of those at this point. So, yeah, just a straight draw for 1. Needs about full 4 to sit. Second shot, and pretty much a piece of the button to count. All right, final rock of the end. Supers are off, and now they're on. It looks like the weight's pretty close. Line doesn't look too bad either. This has a good shot here. We'll go to the overhead. Now Super's going hard. Gonna drag it. It's gonna be very close, and ooh, I don't. That is not counting 1. There is a question as to whether it's the second counter or not. It looks like it's 2 red, but certainly don't blame RPI for wanting to measure this, because those 2 are pretty close. If I had to guess, I'd say it's 2 red, but they are, I mean, definitely worth a measure here, especially that's a big point. If it is 2 points for Penn, their options will open up a lot in the 7th, as a force would no longer be too terrible for them. Whereas if this does end up being just 1 and RPI holds on to a 2-point lead, RPI can keep playing very defensively, and Penn will be looking to go all out steal again in the 7th. So we'll stay on here for the overhead measure. We don't have a zoom. We can't actually see the measurement take place like you'd see on TV, but hopefully they'll move the counting rock towards the button so we know. Okay. Yellow was second, so it was just 1 for red. Gonna make the score 5-3. Still in favor of RPI. RPI retains the hammer. Very nice draw by Evan Mulaney to cut down Penn, and very nearly counted. Probably need another 2 or 3 inches on the draw to sit shot there. So Penn back to throwing first again here in the 7th. Down 2 with 2 ends to play. Likely needing to steal the last 2 ends. And right now their lead, Amaya Diana, is throwing. She's from Westfield, Massachusetts. Majoring in health and society. She says her interesting fact is that she looks like Gene Wilder. Great center line guard to start off the end. Looks like already they're going to be better set up for a potential steal here than they were in the in the sixth, and that end still worked out very well for them. So if they can set up something early, they may have. They definitely have something brewing here. RPI like them to come right around that center guard, get to the 4-foot first. This looks like it might go a little deep though. Great line, but gonna sail out the back of the house. So we'll see if Cody wants to throw up a second guard or if they're gonna come around. Over on sheet A, the score is now tied 6-6. On sheet A, that's Bowdoin and Colgate tied at 6 now after 6 ends, so should be a good finish over there. And here on C, yeah, very nice draw in behind that guard. Didn't get completely buried, but certainly covered, at least half covered. And still in the free guard zone. Why would they tell you those things? They're not supposed to. Because I have friends who love me. My mom told me like one secret before I rushed, and she was like, "Tell me the one that I told you." And I was really upset. Yeah. So we're with the free guard zone still in play. RPI elects, instead of trying to go around and get a piece of that red rock, try to draw one into the corner of the house instead, and looks like that one just overcurled. Doesn't look to be biting the edge of the house. Again, not 100% sure given where our cameras are located, but looks like it might just be sitting outside of the house. So Penn going to look to continue clogging up the center, though. Set up their steal. They have a very solid rock there in the top 8. Center line guard. It looks like they're coming around a second time here. This one's also a little bit heavy. I believe it'll stick around the back of the house, though. Don't think it's going through. Yeah, this will stop somewhere in the back gate and leave Penn counting 1-2. Evan Mulaney of RPI wasting no time calling to peel that center guard. Really wants to open things up here. Gideon Bartlett's throwaway looks like sailing just wide of the mark. So didn't get the peel. That one's going to end up right through the house, which does leave Penn with an opportunity to really start to clamp down this end and put RPI in a little bit of trouble. One more good guard in the center would pretty much force RPI at this point to play to the center rather than try to open things up. Maybe too late to peel their way out of trouble if this gets any more clogged up here in the center. Strike may be overcurling a bit. Will leave 2 guards though. Does open up access to the counting rock, the second counter in the top 8. But certainly not a gimme. Still guards on both sides, and we're still trying to peel off the center guard instead, which makes a lot of sense. That center guard very dangerous for RPI. Gives something that Penn can draw around, and the peel's successfully made. Guards out of the way. RPI now, for the moment at least, has access to both Penn rocks and a line they can draw on to get to the 4-foot. So, gonna take some cleanup in the back half of the end here, but the one good thing for RPI is there's still quite a bit of room to score. Most of the 8-foot is available to them to outcount the 2 pen rocks. So if the end plays out like this the rest of the way, Evan should have a makeable draw to get his 1. And even 1 point here would be pretty good for RPI heading into the 8th. Adam Clearwater throwing now for Penn, and this one going to go a little deeper than they wanted, but it's actually a very nice rock. We have a bit of a Christmas tree effect here on those red rocks on the left side of the center line, where each one is at least partially guarded by the one in front of it. Not going to be easy to hit either of the ones in the house and stick around to count. Possibly a double on that front red, but you'd really, really, really have to skirt the guard. So instead it looks like Evan's asking Kate Fermano to take out the red rock in the top 8, open up access to the one that's on the back of the button right now, and see if they get a better opportunity on their next rock. Now, if this is a touch wide and they take out the one on the button, I'm sure he's fine with that too. Sweepers are on this right away. Does look like it's going to make contact with something here. We're going to clean things up a bit. What they hit, though, is the question. It actually does just skirt right by the guard. This could be the... Oh, an unfortunate jam there, because that did get to the rock they were looking to get at, but double jam. First red onto the one on the button, that one onto the one in the back 8, and that actually leaves Penn now with a rock buried on the side of the 4-foot and a second counter in the back 8. It's going to be very hard for RPI to get at the rock that's currently counting.
Sorry, can you get by?
Hey. And
Reasonably competitive matches.
yeah, Penn proceeds to throw another guard on their counter now.
Who's up?
Right now the score is being asked to score. It's RPI 5, Penn 3. RPI has the hammer here, up 2 in the 7th, and but Penn's set up pretty well for a steal. There is still one side of the ice open for a draw. So if things stay the same way, Evan will have a chance to draw for 1. But unfortunately, this rock looks like it's coming up light and did not quite hog either, so leaves a very high center line guard that my guess is Penn will want to use. We're down to skip rocks. I think Cody's likely to come around, try to set a third counter, probably in the top 8-foot, and it won't be easy for Evan to dig his way out of that at that point. He's probably going to have to play off his run back his own high guard if this rock is thrown real well. Of course, you could always just come down, depending on what's available. You could come down to the back, to Penn's back rock, which is just biting the back 4. Sitting on that back one might be enough to count still. So. All right, first skip rock away for Penn.
Pretty close.
Weight looks good. They may be looking at where it's going as far as line. In fact, it might be going a tad. Nope, that's going to be very nice.
Yeah. It's a great shot.
Yep, excellent weight. That's just about perfectly placed. Does leave a double for Evan to try here. It's going to be hard to get to the inside of that, which is what he'd ideally like to do, but even if he catches just off nose on the outside,
High, though.
and even if you just catch it a bit on the outside, remove 2, that'll
gotta get 1 at least.
make the end a lot more manageable for RPI. As Patrick Wong sitting next to me points out, that yellow guard is very high, so you may be able to come around with a little bit less weight, which is what he's doing based on the line they've taken. Rocks away, sweeper's off early, line looks pretty good depending on the weight he's throwing. He's going to have to come back a bit though. Looks like he's going to make contact. He may have, I don't know if he has the weight to move both, but he's definitely going to move at least one. And just pushes that back one out, or to the very back of the 12 foot anyway. Penn's still sitting 1-2, and now, yeah, Cody calling for a guard there. If this guard's made very well, it won't leave RPI with all that much, at least nothing easy. They're going to have to make a difficult shot to count or to cut down Penn.
Would you want to ideally be kind of on the inside of this guard? Just like a touch inside so there's no run back?
Probably a touch outside to take away the, so you can't use the rock. Because if you guard the inside half of the rock, they could just they can come around your guard and tap it. Yeah. And I mean, they only have to tap it a foot to count.
You don't
So
really want to be right nose either.
nope. I mean, no, you just don't want to be that close to it. You want to leave a higher guard. If you want to talk, I'd grab a.
Oh. Can I?
Yeah, you're allowed. We're letting Patrick Wong on the commentary. This is a dangerous decision, but
I know.
we are. I think you signed up to do commentary you didn't do it last night.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna get a second commentator here in a moment.
I got dragged home
Okay.
early. Is it on?
No, you have to turn on the
I turn it on.
the headphones. You'll find it. There's a power button. All right, this guard's gonna work out nicely. It's high enough where it's not going to be used most likely as a run back rock, unless Evan thinks it's his only chance at getting in there. There aren't many great alternatives, but he's looking them over now. Hard to say what the best option is here. There aren't very many good shots here. Some difficult run backs, some difficult angles you could play off of, but could try to draw around that high guard and play a tap. That's possible. That yellow guard is so high. I mean, it's more obvious in our overhead view. You might be able to draw around that yellow from the left side of the sheet, the bottom side on what you're looking at now at home.
I think you can tap the yellow in the top floor. Yeah.
That might be possible, but very difficult.
Yeah.
What do you think? So Patrick Wong, who is skipping the Yale 2 team or Yale 1 team?
I don't know what number
one of the
we are.
Yale teams.
I think we're 2.
Okay, one of the Yale teams at this weekend's Bowdoin Spiel. Now in the booth. Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks, Ed. I'm making up for not commentating last night.
Yeah, Patrick
when I was
on the
supposed
schedule,
to.
But he went home a little earlier, which is understandable. It was a late night here. This Spiel has a lot of draws. It's going to be a 7-draw day today, which is a lot. It's going to be a long day for everyone who's playing, for everyone who's organizing. I skipped out on the earliest draw just to shorten the day a little bit if I'm going to be here both watching you guys play. And,
no one's up that
doing some
early anyway.
I don't think either of the Yale teams playing this morning?
No, our first match is at noon today.
Final rock away from Muldowney. Mulaney. We have a Muldowney in our club. That's my confusion. And I don't think this is going to come back. I'm just not sure that was actually there. There's enough curl on the ice to get past that guard on the outside and tap it yellow. Definitely a good idea, because if you get there, you just need to tap it a tiny bit to count. But that was going to be a difficult shot. And that makes it a steal of 2 for Penn. And we get to come home into the 8th with a tie game. Very exciting now. 5-5 game going home. Penn has stolen the last 2 ends to tie it up from having a 3-point deficit after 5. It all comes down to 1 end now. Really good game, and I think what we'd expect from these 2 teams, who, based on their history of what we've seen in the Northeastern College curling are two of the favorites here probably this weekend.
Yeah, definitely two very good teams.
Yeah.
Looks a little down weight, but over.
Okay, they'll get their guard over. It's going to be a little off the center line, but definitely guarding the forefoot. For those watching at home, if there's friends and family who don't watch a lot of curling and aren't sure about the strategy here, eighth end, with RPI having the last rock, they just want the center opener. They only need to count one. Doesn't matter who's second or third or how many you get. You either score or you don't in this end for the win. So all RPI wants with the last shot is to have the middle open, have a very simple shot to win the game. Conversely, Penn's going to need to have that center clogged up. So they're going to be throwing a lot of center guards and looking to set up a steal just as they have in the last two ends. Playing the tick shot here.
Just missed it.
And just missed it. Good effort. You can't remove a guard from play during the first four rocks of each end. You are allowed to move them, and RPI attempted to play what we call a tick shot, move that rock off the center line. Just didn't quite make contact. It was actually a very nice way for a tick shot because that was probably just under hack. It was just over back line. In fact, there was they laughed out there because Evan put his foot out to stop the rock, then thought better of it, and then because it was only barely out of the house. Then Adam Clearwater just said it's all right, just take it because it was definitely going to go through. So.
Yeah.
All right, another guard coming up here for Penn. They've now got a high guard, low guard covering both sides of the forefoot. Definitely two good rocks from Amaya Diana. You may know the names better than I do. Just in case I'm pronouncing anything wrong, I figured you may know the Penn players. You've been at Spiels with them this year?
I think you got it right.
There's they're trying to play another tick, and just missed the rock.
This one might stick around though.
No, I think this
one's
just
through.
through.
It's just through as well, yeah.
So, no harm done, and a lot of times, especially before you get to like the world class level, tick shots are make or miss, and it's okay to miss them. If you go through, you haven't done any harm. You just don't want to leave an extra. You don't want to be light, so you don't leave either an extra guard in the center, or something maybe in the very back of the house that isn't going to help you score, but could be backing for the other team without the hammer. So, while those were misses, RPI is not going to feel too bad about missing those shots. They just know they have to make their peels once they get the chance to start hitting the guards. And I'm expecting maybe a third guard here from Penn. Try to cover up the center line. I was going to say, Amaya, I know, I would pronounce it that way only because there's a large online gaming company named Amaya, and I write a lot about gambling-related topics.
This looks like a tap, potentially.
Yeah, it could be a tap and leave a second
center guard
right on the center line. That's good.
That's beautiful.
That improves the center guard.
Center guard, yeah.
Thank you. Improves the center guard, which now here's another thing for anyone who's just learning the game. You might ask, why isn't Evan going after that rock that's counting right now? Red's counting one. Well, he's not too worried about that red rock. He knows he has the last rock. You should be able to outdraw that one if that's what's left in the house. The danger rocks are those center guards, and he's going to look to peel them, get rid of those so that Penn doesn't have anywhere to hide in the middle of the sheet.
Oh, they better go. This one's curling a lot.
It is curling a lot. They may just get a piece
I think
of the
they got
second
pieces.
guard.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh,
Good
they did.
Peel on the more important.
More important one. Agreed. Yeah. That's the one they had to get rid of.
Yes. You could see Evan before that shot was debating whether to go directly after that or
trying to make the double
which
peel.
Gives you the chance of getting both. And I think he played the top one, was okay with hitting the back one. If you're only going to get rid of one, it's the better one to get rid of.
Back one. Yeah.
Both tighter the rings and right on the center line. So it was
Swooty's second shot. Looks a bit up.
And that one just goes through the house. So unfortunately, that gives RPI an opportunity to. Unfortunately for Penn, that is. It gives RPI an opportunity here to peel off that second guard, and if they can make the second peel, it's gonna take a miss or two for Penn to set up a steal. Super's going hard again. This one also might be a bit narrow, but looks like it could catch a piece. Or is it going to go by? It just slips by. Oh, missed it by less than an inch. Almost got it moved off the center line at least, but ended up going by. So now, as Adam Clearwater goes down to throw his Vice Rocks, Cody will take the house. And it looks like they're calling. Cody initially looked at the come around, but he's going to try to throw a tight center line guard. I like that here. It's okay to just keep throwing guards. You don't actually need to be counting until the end. And sure, Cody's been drawing well. I don't know how much of the game you saw, but his draw weight has been excellent. So I'm sure he's pretty confident that as long as there's a guard there, he'll be able to get
as long as there's a guard, he'll get it. Yeah.
He'll be able to get around it. But in order to make sure you do that, you got to keep putting up guards. So if they
line looks pretty good on this one. Just needs to get it over.
It should work. He wants to get some separation. Doesn't want to leave it. Yeah. That'll work though, because that's going to get significantly deeper than the first guard.
It's not extremely easy. It's a great center guard.
Yep, right on the center line. Good two guard, easy to get around. Hard to run back.
Yeah.
It's exactly really where you want it if you're going to play to steal. Evan still calling for the peels here, of course.
In a must-steal situation, do you prefer your center guard a bit higher or lower?
If I only have one, I'd like it to be like
steal
maybe
one.
a 2-3. It depends on. It needs to be high enough that I can draw around it.
Yeah.
If you have two, a 1-3 is nice because you get that. It makes it very hard to get rid of both. Speaking of getting rid of both.
Yeah, great shot.
Great shot there.
Yeah. Oh, good catch too.
Got that on instant replay, thankfully, because I missed a bit of that.
It's a really great double peel.
Let's take another look at that double peel. This is the shot you want to make with the hammer in this situation. As it comes in. Removes one red, moves the other one well off the center line, and Evan makes the great catch, as you said.
Yeah.
So, only one thing for Penn to do here. They're going to try to throw up another center line guard. They're going really hard at this. They need to get this over the hog line. And didn't quite get there. That's unfortunate. Really wanted to get that guard in play. So if we look at the overhead view. Trying to straighten things out a bit here. If we look at the overhead view, red is counting one right now, but not a rock that yellow is going to be terribly concerned about with the hammer. The one thing Penn does have going for him, so RPI is going to be happy about this situation because even if Penn gets around those corner guards, worst case, Evan would have probably the full 4 foot, maybe even a little more to draw to win the game on his last rock. That said, at least there's guards out there, so there's definitely still some drama here because you can always come around and force RPI to make that draw at the end of the game.
Oh, that run back. Great shot.
We got that one too. After this shot, I'll take a look because I didn't see the whole shot, and I'll run back the replay of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty high guard coming back too.
We got some high fives over on sheet A for that shot.
Yeah. Bowdoin sitting 3 now.
Yeah,
potentially for the win.
Bowdoin down 2 makes a great shot to sit 3. So anyway, RPI wanted to come around those guards, get there first. Wants to sit 1 in a tie game. Not a bad idea to sit 1. So if there's a hit at the end, you can hit and roll out and still win the game. Unfortunately, it stayed open. And it looks like what Cody's looking at is maybe just drawing down to it, tapping it back a tiny bit. Mm-hmm. Trying to set up a very tough rock to remove.
Yeah.
Let's go back and look at the replay of that shot over on A. Did I not get it? We might have been in the overhead view. If it was, I apologize. We might have... it looks like unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get that one from what I can see. Yeah. Well, sorry about that.
Cody shot's coming down. Trying to just sit on top of this stone right on the button. Looks maybe a touch wide. Oh, and just a little too wide.
Just never got there.
Yeah, never reached it, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Evan's looking at a potential shot here where he actually removes his but rolls over the side to still sit 1. He's also looking at just sitting 2, which again gives him, will likely leave him with a hit. He could throw a lot of weight at the last one. So if you play this out, and I think what he's looking at here is he throws in to sit 2 in the corner of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is going to have to go after the 1 on the button. And he's going to have to tap it a little bit too, because right now that rock is just covering the pin. And to go after it, you have to tap it. You have to make some separation there.
Looks like he's just trying to draw to this outside red. Yeah. Let's just tap it out.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking to just do something here where he would sit 2, and that'll do.
Yeah.
Now, given that rock is, he could come there. I actually think Cody's looking at that. I would think if you were going to roll somewhere, it'd be better to roll around the guard. You can probably get a slightly better rock. That's, make it a slightly harder draw.
It's gotta be something that can stick around.
Hit and roll, yeah.
And force the draw.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Evan's gonna just try to pick it out.
Look at the overhead view here. Hit and roll in front of that yellow makes sense too. I mean, honestly, looking at where the guards are placed, whichever roll Cody's more comfortable with is fine.
Point differential. He wants more points. He wants more points. Point differential.
Looks like Bowdoin.
Yeah, Bowdoin's, I don't know why he's throwing the shot there. What if he takes out one of his own?
No,
that's what the extra end.
Yeah, you may be thinking about tiebreakers, but in this case, it's probably best you're slightly tiny. Oh, you just threw it away. It looks
threw it away, yeah. Just
we had handshakes on. Well, it looks like it's tied after 6 on B. All right, last rock away here for Cody Classer. Sweepers are going to have to get on this right away. It's a bit narrow.
Yeah.
Threw enough weight where it's going to make contact. He might even get the roll he wanted. Or is it going to roll too far?
Yeah.
Oh, hits and rolls all the way over to the edge of the 12-foot. And that's going to be handshakes.
Great game.
1 point for RPI. I'll make the final 6-5.
Yep.
And good game, though. Well, you don't have to be right back. We're done for the draw, right? So Patrick's leaving us, and I'll say... All right, hope you enjoyed that draw. More action coming all day long because it's a 7-draw day, as we said today. It's very busy. Yeah. Mike Hope behind me just finds that very incredible. But yeah, it's a busy day of Bonspielen today. So we'll be back for the next draw, which I believe is at... see, this draw it's probably a noon draw, I would guess.
7 a.m. and 9 p.m.
I think 7 a.m. was the first draw, and I think I would say the next draw likely to start at noon. Actually, sorry, we'll stay on for a little bit because the game on sheet B between Villanova and Hamilton is coming down to a skips rock. Villanova's skip rock coming in. And doesn't quite reach the house, so that's going to leave Hamilton with the opportunity to hit the house for the win here. You see them out there alone, getting ready to throw their final rock of the game. Assuming they hit the house, we could have a second skips rock, or we'll see if they go to vice rock. We've seen that before. I've certainly done that as a skip. Once, we both missed and they made the vices to our next, so we'll see what happens here. In any case, just needs to touch the house to win. This one looks a little hot though. Sweepers are off it. If it'll slow down and stay in the back, it'll count for the win. But I think this is going to be just a little bit too much. And we may have to throw again to decide who wins this game on B. 3 tight games here. 3 tight games here on the 9:30 a.m. draw. So they're bringing the rocks back down. We're going to go one more time. And once again, it will be Villanova throwing the first rock. Rocks away. Sweepers are off, but this one looks pretty close. Going on late. This one's going to be in the house. We're going to have a winner after this shot, after these 2 shots for sure. And this one's going to get a piece of the 4-foot. That's a nice draw. Just inside the 4-foot. Going to take a measure, just in case this ends up being very close. And so on their second attempt to skip stones, a very nice draw here by Villanova. So we've decided to go to the tape measure after trying the the measuring device. All right. So to win here, we're going to need probably about half 4-foot, a little less than half 4-foot, but definitely has to be in the 4-foot here for Hamilton to score a win here on skip rocks. Sweepers are off it again. Might still be a little hot. It's better than the last one, but it looks like it's still sailing. It's trying to slow down, but that's going to go past the line. Looks like maybe to the back 12. And yeah, just outside the house. So that'll make Villanova the winner on sheet B. And that will finish up our 9:30 a.m. draw. We'll be back very soon with more college curling here from the Yale Super Spiel. Enjoy the show all day. Hope you'll keep tuning in. Thanks.